He can't get his StreamYard to work properly, and I did. I'm restreaming right now.
What
On your
what
channel?
was going on?
Oh, look at all this.
Something Ken can't get fixed. Can't screw up his StreamYard. Mine works just fine.
You have 2 channels? Oh, Twitter, I see.
Yes.
I stopped streaming to Twitter because it seemed like it was mostly
Hank,
bots.
what was going on to his? What's going on with Ken?
We
I'm
don't know.
working
He
on it
hasn't
now.
He's having trouble connecting, so we know as much as you do. Until he connects, we won't have any answers.
So yeah, I still stream to Twitter because if my YouTube video goes down, no one knows how to take down my Twitter version of it, so it's gonna stay up. So I'm
Oh,
not.
right. That's
So I'm
not a
pretty
bad.
much.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
immune
not a
to.
bad idea, Hank.
Yes. So
I
I'm.
might
I'm
start doing that again.
yeah.
Even
I'm
if it is
immune to
bots. Ooh,
Keystone Cop Crew
gross.
strike time because they have no idea how to get Elon to respond to anything.
You eat spam? That now, now I understand. Ooh, I hated it even as a kid. It had that metal key. You had to if you have to use a metal key to peel a can open. That is nothing that I want to eat. Ooh,
So it's on your
next
end,
thing y'all
Ken.
be telling me y'all put ketchup on your eggs. Ooh,
I put pepper on my eggs.
yeah,
Pepper.
pepper's not bad. It's pepper, some fresh spinach, a little bit of cheese, shredded cheese. Are we actually waiting for Ken and Noel to come back?
No, we're not gonna wait.
What's going on with Jim Bob? I told him that we could do it another day. He seemed like he's ready to wrap up, and
Okay.
there's all kind of chaos going on here right now.
Okay.
Hank,
Yes.
Hank, are you gonna be on Jack's? Are you gonna be on Jack's program on 6 o'clock?
Okay. Now I know your time zone, and it's the same as mine. Let me see what Jack's talking.
Yes.
All right, let's see if he works.
And Hank,
Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
yes,
Yeah.
Ken.
Giving of like a lot of giving.
And Hank,
God, this is
Hank,
Yeah, probably on.
I
Yes.
really like your hats. They're in the background.
Yeah. I do too.
What is those?
thank you, Noel.
They're
That's what I meant
hats.
to say.
I like those, Hank.
All right, I need something to get the show going in about 5 seconds, or I'm gonna have to end this stream.
That's
Is
fine.
it
Me.
because
This
of
is a
me or
lot
no?
of downtime. It's not just you, no.
Oh,
Ken, did you get your StreamYard restream to work? Okay. So what you needed to do was close the tab and reopen his StreamYard tab. It was
Oh, he was
very
trying
simple.
to restream. I see. I
Yes.
thought he was trying to start his own stream. Okay.
Start his own stream? I don't know what he's trying to do then. I don't even see his thing.
All right. Do we get to hear
Glenn,
from you now, Ken?
Jeff,
What's up?
what's the show is about right now?
Right now, it's not about anything at all. It's less about something than Seinfeld was. It's about Chuck serenading us. What happened to you? Did you finally get your grass mowed? Does this explain the elated mood? All right. Next time y'all come on ready to panel. Don't come on. We don't want to watch you do all the behind the scenes setup. This ain't a Charlie Kaufman
Sorry,
show.
is it because of me?
Right now it's because of Kim. Just come
Because
on
of,
ready
because
to
of what?
panel. It's fine. It's fine. Just come on ready to panel.
I mean, Ken was asking for a link. He was the first one to ask for a link and didn't come up.
All right.
He didn't say anything yet. It doesn't make any sense.
So what is up, Ken? Give us an update. You're on mute.
And you just hear the muck rake?
Mukbang.
Mukbang.
Maybe muck rake too.
Yeah. You just hear the mukbang?
It's hot.
That one chip.
That's
That one
not
chip.
Doritos.
Just
It's
that.
hot.
That's not even the hardest
It's
one.
Doritos. Yeah, I know.
That's mild. That's the
Almost through
mouth
the
chip.
whole bag and the one chip.
Excuse me, Hank. Excuse me, Jeff. I know what that chips are. I tried those. Those are hot.
Not
I've had
really.
Yes, I do know.
The red
Yep.
ones are harder. Those are not even
Yes, those are hot.
hot.
Yes, yep.
Ronnie said something.
Are you here to talk or say anything or give us an update?
No, he's eating.
Well, I want conversation on the panel. This is not just coming.
This is. I should have not talked in this panel. Should.
No, it's not you. It's Ken.
Oh.
In fact, Ken, when you're ready to chat with us, come back on.
Ken is eating Doritos chips.
Yeah, I think he's just being. I think it's spur.
Have you ever tried those or no?
Yeah, I've had them before.
Yeah, they're not really that hot.
Why is it says spicy? Say it's hot.
Well, they're hot to people who don't eat hot things.
Who's mad? Who's mad? Channel.
Who's
Mad Chat. I think I found.
Oh, Mad Chad. Never mind. Yeah, Mad Chad. Okay.
who's
All right,
mad?
well, does anyone have anything they want to wrap up with? I guess the panel, unless someone else is coming on. I guess
Somebody else is coming on or no?
We don't know. We don't have anyone else scheduled. It's
Nope.
just the links is open there. I thought Jack.
I mean,
Jeff
y'all
was-
can hang out on Discord and do this chit chat.
Yeah. Well.
So there's no reason to use the stream on it.
Yeah. So let's just go on made by Jim Bob. I don't really have anything else to do here.
Well, you know what? I might do that. I might go. Actually, I think Frank's gonna end up
Man,
pulling me into the back alley. I mean, into Discord. Oh, wait, we have a very special guest. Hang on, I'm gonna We have Mr. Jackslaw. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, let me turn the sound up.
What is that noise? Is that you? Sounds like a clock.
Hank, say something so I can know if you're too loud.
Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Alright,
look,
I
Jim
can live
Bob
with
is
that.
watching. It says no. Right, because all the Spurgs showed up. That's what I told him. Before, it was just me and Hank. But yeah,
Well-
I'll talk to Jim Bob one day, because I do have some training in philosophy, and that's one of my difficulties with watching Jim Bob, is I do notice where the logic kind of breaks down or is a little faulty. But at the same time, I admire Jim Bob's attempt to understand and use his intelligence and his logic too. And I overlap with him on some things and agree with him on some things too, and then others
Yeah.
not. I'm a naturalist. He's more of a supernaturalist.
Yeah. Well, you both know each other exists. If you really want to, you can probably coordinate.
Hey, Freak, what's up? Freak, I saw you on TMLs the other day. I loved your setup, those lights, and I want that shirt.
Yeah, I liked it too. It sounds
Jack,
pretty
what's
good.
going on?
If there is a God, let's just for a second, if we're gonna accept this, does he have, or she, whatever does it have a responsibility to everything else?
No.
I guess it gets to determine that if it's the God.
Does it? I mean, if we're making the idea, did we make this
did we
idea?
create
Did
the
it
God?
exist from something? I mean, you brought it up earlier.
Yeah, it does not have responsibility to everything else.
Well, I guess it depends on if it's an independent entity or if we created it. Like if
Hey.
it came from the human imagination, like if it's an egregore or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's it. But if it doesn't, then that means it created everything else. Like it created us, everything.
Right,
Okay,
so
Hank,
we're
if
at
you
its mercy.
create
And that's what
something,
the Greeks thought.
You have
They
no
read-
responsibility to that thing.
No.
Can you really live with that? Is that possible?
I don't
Understand
believe
what I'm
that there is one, so I'm fine with it.
I agree with you too, Jeff. But That doesn't add a conversation. That doesn't get anyone talking.
But I think that people that do believe in it do do presume that it has some kind of responsibility for them. That's why they worship and try to obey and propitiate and please it. If they thought it were completely indifferent, I think Christianity would look very different. Now the Greeks did have a sense that they were at the mercy
Oh,
of their gods.
is Ken back? Who
Yeah,
is Jack? Who's
Ken's
Jack?
Yeah, well, let
Who's
me tell you,
Jack?
Jack.
Hi,
Okay,
Jack.
hang on,
How are
Noel, hang on, Noel. We're gonna start an a philosophical conversation, and so I need all the people that are not interested in having that conversation
Slow
go
down,
in the
yeah.
back or on another panel or go in the comments or something. I've agreed to try to mix types as long as I could prioritize the conversations that I want to have. So that's what's happening now. So anybody that doesn't want to talk about philosophy and God is in the back. All right, go ahead, Jack.
Well, I just like I like Hank's, way of thinking like that. No, fuck that. Why would it shouldn't have to care. But at the same time, if we allow that way of thinking, then we're immediately like projecting that.
Well, how,
You know what I'm
how
saying? Like it's a catch-22, man. That's a double-edged knife to everyone else.
when you said allow that type of thinking, I immediately went to thought police. I thought you
Nice.
meant like as a society. Did you mean internally if you as a person start
No,
thinking that way?
as a society. I mean, like look, I'm against the whole idea of religion to the core. Like I'm for beliefs and what gets you through the day and what makes life better. But it's like I feel like I'm fighting that side. And I don't want to fight that side, Jeff, but I will fight that side to keep this going.
Well, you don't. Well, I'm gonna fight against you anyway.
I don't want you to have to fight anything. This is about letting yourself come out. So
Yeah, I'm pro religion.
okay, hang on. I gotta. Brandon and Noel, this is not the time for open panel right now. It's turned into a different type of conversation. So we're just gonna have to. Y'all have to come up another time. Okay. So what are you fighting? And Hank, are you fighting the opposite? Are you on the opposite side? Is that what's going on?
Affirmative. I'm pro religion.
Pro-religion. But you,
Yes.
honestly,
I'm not
let's-
anti-religion. Are you
Let's take a
anti-religion?
step back then, Hank. Yay or nay on whether a god or God would have to be responsible for its own actions, for its own, or inactions. I think
Yes,
so.
it will be responsible for its own actions.
I mean,
Like who is
I
God
don't know,
accountable to? Himself, his vision, like any
Yeah,
artist.
Yeah, here's the thing. I actually gone in debates. I have a couple long ones with iFi when we debate free will, and free will turns out to be pure attribution. It doesn't matter if someone's in control or not. So it's just
Think so?
it's just what free will is. It's just an attribution of responsibility. It doesn't really care about who is puppeteering who.
so free will is just morality, then, is what you're saying. There is
Yes.
no, without, you take morality out of the equation,
It's just
there's no
blame.
will at all.
Yeah, free will is just blame.
It's just blame. Whoa. That
Yeah,
is
I'm kind of.
that is a bit far, Hank. Wow.
You want boobs from me? Where am I going to get boobs from?
So then, okay, so morality changes from place to place. I mean, geez, you could go 100 miles in any direction.
Yes, morality is just an opinion people have.
Okay, so should we have more segregation then?
Segregation of what?
I don't know.
Morality. Segregation
Like
of
people
morality.
with different moral visions keep.
Yes,
stay
would not be
people-
allowed, and that would have to be identified to create a world that, I mean, the lack of effort in God's part, right, is where we have to step in. I don't think he exists in the first place because he won't fucking do shit. But if that's the case, then are we fighting for segregation here, Hank?
Well, here no, people
Don't
should
lie
be
to
more
me,
willing to
Hank.
sort themselves, but I'm not for segregation. And when you say God's not doing shit, how to explain all the real estate that he apparently has?
Real estate? What do you mean by that?
All the churches that are
Yeah, I hear that.
they're built.
That's evidence of God doing shit.
Yes, it's
Whether he's
evidence
real
of
or
God.
not, he's
I think
creating
that's-
churches somehow.
Yes,
I don't know, man.
did churches just create themselves?
I don't know how you would recognize this type of segregation you're talking about with democracy. Like, I don't know how to, like, people free associate, and we already have that, but I don't know how you would enforce association outside of that and still remain a democracy.
Exactly.
Segregation. What do you mean?
What do you want to segregate? People with different moral beliefs? Like, they
Yeah,
stay on
some
one side
will
of
kill
town
each other.
and-
Jeff, you put the real demonites with the real religion. You put them next to each other. I mean, we will self-segregate to our own degree because
Yeah.
we'll kill them or they'll kill us, right? Like that's
Yeah. So you don't need any extra enforcement of segregation. Just let it naturally happen.
No.
Yeah, they'll sort themselves out.
He's not happy with that. He wants
No, because then what you have is morals that's like it's like having a reflection of what could be at every turn. Like you're not having a happier human in that aspect, are you? You think that makes people happier?
Why are you responsible for other people's happiness?
I'm not, but shouldn't God be?
I
No,
don't know. It depends
No.
on the God.
No. Okay, Frank, but I'm saying that responsibility comes from the same as, like, let's say you had a child, right? Are you not responsible for those things?
There are many parents that don't feel a sense of
I
responsibility.
agree, but is that I mean,
Desirable?
morality here.
It's
is
not
not free will.
desirable, but it's reality.
Tell me, Hank.
oh, okay, then what's your opinion? Do you have that for yourself?
Yeah, I think if there was a God, he would have to be responsible for that. And I would
Okay,
try to hold myself to
But it
those
doesn't matter
standards,
what
but
you
like I
think.
don't think he exists.
It only matters what God thinks. So even if you think he should be responsible, that doesn't mean he has to be.
No. Frank explained to us, and I think he did a damn good job, that morality is free will. And so all we can truly control is our own personal morality.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that creates what will we exude, but it's not free. I'm saying Hank is not allowing for the cost.
not long for the what?
The cost of that morality.
So how much does it cost?
Like, it's up to you. You're the one.
Let me get my
you
wallet out
set
so I
all
can
the
pay for it.
boundaries.
Let me get my wallet so I can pay for it.
Oh,
I need to know what the price tag is.
about the
Yes.
duct tape wallet.
Well, let's
You
figure out what
actually-
all the.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sorry.
start selling these. I need to make a bunch. I'm gonna start selling these.
No, hey, do you pull that out at the grocery store when you go to pay for stuff? Is that what you use?
I can prove it's what I use. Look,
I
cards in
love
here.
my people. Well, I support your entrepreneurship. Well, it proves that something exists that people take seriously enough to that they're inspired to build these churches.
Yes, those churches aren't free. They cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to build.
It attests to like the human, some kind of human sense of there's something called God.
Yeah, unless the tornado just dropped a church somewhere randomly, but I haven't seen that happen. Every church I've seen had builders.
That metronome is actually very relaxing.
Yes, but it won't hypnotize me, unfortunately.
I know it's making me it's
Hold on, I'll be right
saving
back.
me. It reminds me, like, I don't know if those of you that are old enough, the old timey car, the station wagons, when you put the turn signal on, it would click. It would go.
Yeah.
And I used to sit there as a kid and listen to that clicking sound. That's what this reminds me of.
Is mine clicking?
Yeah, there's some kind of metronome thing going on in the background.
It's my camera. Hold on, let me fix it.
Oh, it makes
It took
noise.
me fucking days to fix this shit. I hate this camera.
Is it
Well, I
your
use
the
Logitech.
built-in?
It's auto focusing. It's the mic and the camera are built into one, and it's just the design that they're making now. And because of that, every time the camera focuses, the microphone is so close to the actual focusing lens
What?
that you can hear the clicking of that focus.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That seems like a
Let me turn it off.
poor design. Like just
It
a
is.
fucked up
It's
product.
incredibly, and everyone. But you know, it was what they had. It was what I bought. I didn't know what I was buying until I bought it.
Are
The only
you
reason I
only one
know
of
is
the
because I
paddle-
bought two of them and I took one of them apart.
So
Are you
I
the
have a
only one of the
workaround.
Paddleverse with a clicking camera?
Yeah.
You can turn that to your advantage.
So yeah. So the workaround is if you don't want a
Did it
clicking
stop?
camera. Yes, it stopped.
Yeah,
You can
see, now
actually
it
get
can't
separate-
autofocus anymore.
Yeah, you can get a separate microphone. Then it won't. So it won't interfere with each other.
No,
Oh,
it's
that's a
because
thought.
it's integrated, Hank. Because they're integrated together.
Yes.
I cannot turn one of them off, and the camera I
Oh.
need.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, you can turn it off. What you do is have the audio go to another different microphone, then mute the mic and the camera. You mute the
I'm
mic.
doing that. I've got that one muted, but I can't physically turn it off because the
Yes,
circuit is
you keep
integrated.
it. Yeah, you keep the mic and the camera on when the camera's energized. Then you mute it so none of the audio goes through. Then you have your audio come through an external
I
mic.
tried that, man. I was on that train of thought from the beginning. All right, I took one apart, going, "Why the fuck can't I do this? You know what I mean? Why does this not work?"
Okay,
I was there 2 days
you're
ago.
missing something. You're missing something. You get one of
Okay.
these.
Mm-hmm.
You plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
You enable the audio through this.
I did that.
You mute the mic on the camera.
I did that. No. I cannot mute the. Well, I mean, I can and I can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can only take it down to nothing. I can't
Yes.
physically mute it. If I
Yeah, take
completely
it down to
cut it,
zero. That's a good enough
the
to do.
software will not allow me to do that.
Does going down to zero help?
I don't know. I mean, it stopped now, right?
You
I
don't
I got
know,
to
but
the end. I
did.
found a workaround.
It did.
Yes.
What wasn't a serious answer?
Hmm?
Oh, the non-aggression principle. Yeah, you're talking about the libertarian thing. My I'll tell you my critique of it, just a little I know about it. It's very abstract, and when you start talking to libertarians about it, it's on the theoretical thing, and once you try to start tying it into concrete things, it gets kind of silly.
Yeah, it contradicts itself.
I'm very practical, and it's too non-practical for me.
Yes, the non-aggression principle pretty much contradicts the universe. You can't use it. You can't implement it.
What are we talking about? What is it? What's he
Do
talking
you know about the non-aggression principle that libertarians?
What is that?
It's like their cardinal virtue. Hang on, I can.
It's a get well responsibility free card.
What does that mean? What is it first? You want me to look it up? I can look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the AI.
I made breakfast this morning, and I cooked with wheat butter. I'm really hot.
Wheat butter
Yeah.
for your pancakes.
No, I made eggs, and I sauteed my mushrooms in it, and, stuff like that.
Did you put wheat butter on your eggs?
Oh, on the mushrooms, in my eggs.
Oh, okay. Are they normal mushrooms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Sounds
am
like
I
a
looking this
weed
up? What are we talking about?
The non-aggression principle. Initiating force against others is wrong. Force can be used defensively to protect yourself or your property.
This is Jeff. Wait, this is a moral code.
Yeah,
Nice,
it's
Frank.
the
You
libertarian
just
moral
proved that they're trying to control others with their moral code. They're
I'm
trying
the
to take
one
all
that
their
say
free will away.
libertarians
No,
are
no, I
some of the
know. I'm
most
not putting it on you, Jack.
authoritarian people I've met. Andrew, he was arguing with Dave Smith the other day, and Dave Smith was Andrew was worried that libertarianism would lead to degeneracy and freedom, and I'm like, no. Have you talked to libertarians? They're authoritarians. It's not going to lead to degeneracy at all. They're the opposite of that. They try to control everything.
Yes.
Yeah, with the moral code. So is that it? What was the rest of it?
That doesn't seem like a good description to me. Let me see if I can find a better. The non-aggression principle. I have libertarian friends that are a lot better at explaining it. Okay, it's any person is permitted to do everything within your property. So this is like private property underpins all of this. So on your own property, you can do anything you want except aggression, which is initiating a forceful action towards somebody else. And like fraud, which is like economic aggression, is a version of that. So you can't like defraud anybody either as part of this.
Oh, the funny thing is, like libertarians like Golem vigilante Jeff Berwick do participate in fraud, but it's not fraud when they do it. And you
Do we have any libertarians that want to come on and talk non-aggression?
I'm a neoliberal.
I'm an aggression. I go off of the aggression principle. I'm a Satanist. If you fuck with me, it's coming back at you.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what neoliberals say.
I like that.
No, it's also made up of information, thought, data, but all of that supervenes on the concrete.
Yeah.
Of course, when you get down to the quantum level, what's really concrete?
Yeah, here's something I thought this morning. I was watching Steve McRae's stream, but I had to go to work. But before I went to work, I thought of something. So you can use all the atheist arguments against God against video games too. So you could literally do a text replace and make a video game's arguments from the arguments atheists use. So I could say that there's no evidence of video games, and the things that people call video games is just they're hallucinating when they're looking at some kind of power bits on being executed on a computer. The argument is so absurd.
We could
Are
say
you talking
that about
about from
movies.
the point of view
Eventually,
of the
you could turn
player
that
or
on
the point of view of the
Panelverse
game
itself.
maker?
We're not even real.
Well, point of view of the player. But point of view of someone commenting about the player. So someone can make arguments against the existence of video games and use pretty much the exact same arguments atheists use against the existence of gods.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, I think some
Don't
of
get
it is
that one.
the falsifiability.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much since atheists define gods out of existence, you could do this exact same thing with video games in the same way. Still need to write all the arguments out.
Head, are you a libertarian? Come up and talk about it.
Yeah, I agree with the freak. Anything witnesses by two
I'm not
or more.
sure. I'm thinking about that right now because two or more. I know that when I've been on LSD with my friends, I've had friends that hallucinate the same thing. Like we both thought something was something else until we got closer and we realized what it was. So
The shared experience.
Yeah,
I don't want to be too dogmatic about saying that.
I would say it's subjective. I can't agree to will, but I would say it's
That multiple
intersubjective.
witnesses makes it real.
I wouldn't say. Yeah, I would not say will. I would say intersubjective though.
Yeah, I could go with that. Wait, what? Now Hillary Clinton is somehow involved with the libertarians? I love this this crowd. Freak, come up and tell us about it. There's a conspiracy theory behind every conspiracy theory nowadays.
Yeah.
That is
Games-
first world luxury. That is too much time on the hands with nothing to do and too much information to look at.
Frank, games used to start with like intense control. You were on rails all the time. Like that was the original games, down to like the board game. Nowadays, I feel like we've turned into like if the designer of the games is a god, like if you look at him that way, in that sense, the god is turned into giving the player as much free will or freedom to make their own free will as possible. I mean, we still have the rails, in a lot of our games, but by that view, I mean, I don't know. Which god would you prefer?
The one that lets me win.
Yes, the one that lets me win.
But
the
also
player.
provides the appropriate level of challenge. So I feel like I've accomplished something and grown and developed in the process.
Yeah, I would say Discordia. Which one would you pick, Jack?
I don't know. I would just stop playing the game at that point, pissed off that like I understand my point of view in this world, and it might anger people. It might even turn them into what they believe a Satanist is.
Sounds
Are you on
lame.
the cusp? Do we have another budding Satanist? But the thing about what did you say
Same.
about it might piss other people off or something? Like
I think there's a part of the population, if we're actually talking about what would kill, these people believe this, those people believe that, that would really, man, you'd really have to separate the shit out of them to not, that is total morality.
why
but
couldn't
we-
you just
we-
let them all get together and talk it out like we do on here?
It's impossible. Don't you understand?
It
Because
happens on here all the time. We have
their
some
free will exude on their free will, and that's death.
Oh, Denizen, we're talking about free will. You should come up. Libertarianism, the non-aggression principle, free will, and what was
Non-aggression and not.
Oh, flow. Or
We're
what
talking
did I-
about
did I
fundamental
try?
people who fundamentally look at life as a game and are pissed off at the controller of that game.
Yeah. Because
Right,
they
like
feel,
that's-
to me, that comes from a sense of disempowerment. They feel at the mercy of something, and that's such a foreign psychological sensation to me.
But they see the system more as a game. Like they see it as like, okay, this is the system I'm born into, or I'm
Yeah.
built to play, like just as a human. And there is no morality for them within the context of what they see the game is. So I mean that's a dangerous part. That's more of what they would look at as like Satanism, because that
The
would
controller
truly
of a
fight.
game
That would
that-
truly attack the other side. The people who just truly enjoy the game, regardless of what they are playing. You are a player. That's what you said, Jeff. You would play the game this way.
I am trying to play capitalism. I'm very bad at it, but I am determined to beat the level, like the game, like to get as hot, like beat as many levels of it as I can. Because
you
it's the
want-
game
and
I
the
was
reward
born
of it.
into. I'm not naturally made for it, but that is the game I'm in. So I want to learn how to play it and master it somehow. And
Just
I am
playing
approaching it as a
is-
game, so I don't feel oppressed by it. I approach it as a challenge. It's an opportunity, and if I'm successful, if I take it as a challenge and I succeed at it, then I get the rewards of having been like played that part of the game. Whatever comes from playing that game.
You just,
So
I mean,
a
you're
lot of
just
it is the
enjoying the
attitude
system,
you
is what
take,
I'm
like-
saying, though.
Huh?
That's you're in this context, you are taking the side of the player. Hank took us down a road of like video games and seeing the world as a little more abstract so that we can actually get an understanding of, okay, if there's more than one god, or there's more than one, even if this one leans more towards this system or that system of life, of playing the game, they're exuding something on the player. They're giving him only so many options. And if you are a player who can step back and see, okay, fuck, man, this is reality, right? This is what makes the game. You're going to, I mean, these things that we talk about, these ideals or ways of forcing free will, like this is the only will you get. If you're not just some hypocrite, you know what I mean? If you're not just some hypocrite somewhere who doesn't even understand that far, that there's a cost to all, right, Hank? I mean, there's a cost to it. If you're going to be that, well, then you have to see yourself to some degree as that, and you will have, if you are the god of this, or you're the, it's a third person view, man.
I agree with the freak. Morality arguments for trying to prove God is irrelevant. And pretty much when I hear that from atheists, that's usually they're pretty much asserting the God of classical theism. But no, I don't think I know anyone who worships that God. I would argue that's not even a God. But at the very least, there's a straw man.
I guess I stick to the first person view because that's the only view I have direct experience of.
Do you play a lot of games,
people that
Joe?
speculate on God? You're right. It is kind of trying to see things from that third person view, and to me, that's so pointless because I'm never going to know. It's just my imagination.
You should try second person view, like you have a unit under your control.
That's Jeff, that's fucked
well,
up.
I'm more like
you
power
just said
with
it's just your imagination.
Huh?
That is a fucked up statement, my friend.
What?
No,
What?
fuck you, man. That's like, I'm serious here. Yeah, yes, what you're saying. Like, this is, we are powerful fucking creatures. This computer works because we understand the brain. The computer can't do things we can do. Like it just can't. And you're dumbing down the shit that we actually can do. It may never do that unless it's fucking.
I don't know how you
conscious.
got all of that out of what I said.
I think it's a type 1.
Your ability to see something different is just your imagination. It's just you. It doesn't mean anything.
If you're a video game player and all you have is the first person perspective, and
right,
you don't
the only
know who
way you
designed
can
the
become
game,
conscious and step out
all
of
you're
the...
doing is using your imagination to speculate about what the design, but you'll never know for sure. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how you got all the other stuff.
Unless you has access to a source code.
I'll put it in a different way that would be more towards if we're talking about a player and a game. Let's say you do have a player, right? And the only way that player can see past his segregational, like, he can't step outside his box. He'll never become more than the system, right? Because you're just a fucking computer. You're just an NPC, right? Until you have an imagination, until you have the thing that you just cast away like it was nothing. It's not important.
I think you heard me reduce it. I didn't. All I'm saying is the only thing you have to go off of is your imagination. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or that's reductive or that the imagination itself is not productive. Like everything I do, I spend so much time going over those charts with imagination, emotional, intellectual overexcitabilities. So I don't know where you're getting the idea that I'm sliding the imagination by saying that's the mental function that's used when you're speculating who the designer of the game is. You don't have a way to know for sure. All you have is your imagination. And if that sounds reductive to you, I don't know how you're hearing that.
He's in touch with his own imagination.
The first time around, if you go back, just watch it again from the first time around. and you made it sound like it was just yours and it didn't matter.
I said it like
No,
I
it
can't
didn't.
make
I
it
know, I
sound
know.
anyway. I just
It's
said what I
my-
said, and then you took it
No,
whatever way.
My
Yeah,
view of it,
You-
but I don't
yeah,
see that this is the same as that. Go
So
on.
Jack's law isn't comfortable that the fact that he has access to just his imagination, then he has to interact with the rest of the world through his senses.
Yeah, I guess that's a true statement. Say it again, Hank. What?
Yes.
What? I'm stoned, man. Slow down.
Yeah, you are. You're clearly and obviously stoned. So you're uncomfortable with the fact that you have just have access to your imagination and have to interact with the rest of the world through your senses.
Now he's psychoanalyzing.
I guess so, but I don't think so, Hank. I think I've taken it a step further beyond that. I would imagine the people around me and in my own head and speak to them. I think if I wanted to, I could do quite well with nothing, just myself. Would I have a responsibility to those things I talk to that only exist within me? I guess that would be my morality.
Yes.
Like solipsism?
I don't know that word.
That's kind of what you described. I'm a
It's a new one for me.
solipsist. The only thing I'm ever going to know is my own mind. Like, whatever reality is, I'm only going to know the part of it that intersects with my mind or consciousness somehow. From birth to death. That's it. And so that is the extent of my world. And all the people in it are... That's all the people that are ever going to be in it. And
Yeah. So I'm not.
I only have my version of them. I don't have the real person that they are. I'll never know that. I'll just know my version. And so I'm responsible to that subjective sense of who they are.
Yes. So I'm not a solipsist. I'm an idealist. I believe there's a cross section of world that processes and interacts with each other without me knowing about it.
Like that solipsist consciousness intersects with something other than that or outside of it.
So classical solipsism is when you assume that the rest of the world you don't interact with doesn't exist at all.
Well, it exists, but it only exists as phenomena in my own consciousness. Ultimately,
Or that you
on a
can't prove
pragmatic level. Like I'm talking about pragmatically, not existentially. It probably does exist out there.
Yeah.
But the only part of it I have that I could go off of is how it appears in my consciousness.
I gotcha. I understand.
That's the only thing you can know
Yeah. Or
Jeff,
will ever know.
or
If you
verify.
didn't have that view of other people in your head like that, if you didn't have that, do you think it's possible to disdain one as a hypocrite and one as not? I mean, because we adjust our view on the fly constantly of, okay, no, that's who you are and that's who you are, and that changes that view. But at the same time, if they step so far out of bounds, right? Like if it's like, oh shit, that is not who I thought you were. You know,
Well,
that's where
I
that's
don't think
formed.
you can ever know who a person is, or even yourself. I think it's like a probability cluster. You develop a sense of them over time, like a pattern of who they are that stays within certain probability ranges.
Well,
And,
I mean, we
and
change
every
over
now and then
time.
something might go outside of that, and then you have to revise your model. But I don't think you ever fully 100% get to the bottom of any person in a lifetime, including your own.
You
I
don't think
agree.
you could know someone that well? That's that again. Damn it, Jeff. I'm gonna beat you up with your own words, man. Stop it.
I agree with Jeff.
Bring it
You're
on.
mean to all of us.
I agree
Don't
with
do
Jeff. I completely agree with Jeff. I mean, Jack's law. Do you even know your MBTI type?
Say it again. My what?
Do you even know your Myers-Briggs personality type or your Enneagram?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Mumbo jumbo.
Exactly my point.
Jeff, that sucks. If you think that you can never know someone well enough to truly
No,
know how they might even change. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
didn't
Over
say that.
time. If you don't
Well,
think
you
you can know them
I just
that
said you
well,
don't
that
ever know
sucks, man.
someone 100%. You might know them
That's
well
man, you
enough
gotta
for
know.
specific purposes.
That is 100%, man. I
You
don't
don't-
think we're that. I don't think we're that complicated. As people.
Jack's
I don't think we're.
law. You don't even have what model you're using to predict what.
It's not a
who people
question of
are.
complexity. It's a question of like experience and what you have What you have access to is direct experience, and what you just have to leave to inference and imagination.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an equation of how well you were paying attention over time and what you were paying attention to and why.
Yeah, you don't, but you don't have a personality model. You don't even know what you
Well,
need to pay
But you
attention to.
build
It's
that
impossible for
as a
me to pay
child,
attention to
right?
every detail of every
here's
person's
my
life.
theory on that. When I was institutionalized, my brain was studied exhaustively in the guise of mental health.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was interrogated, x-rayed, and examined thoroughly. Then they took everything about me and put it into a computer where they created a model of my mind. Using that model, they managed to generate every thought I could possibly have in the next, say, 10 years, which then they filtered through a probability matrix of some kind to determine everything I was going to do in that period.
That sounds science fiction. I don't know that they have the capability to do what you described.
What are
Uh,
you talking about,
they
Jeff?
get
They've
to
been
everyone, but
doing
they
that
probably
forever.
do like a good 80%.
They do it with everything you buy. Everything's tracked, Jeff. And
Yeah, but they
you
can't
know, like
model someone's
there's
thoughts and predict. They can make progress
they're not
notes as they
they're
see you and like develop a pattern of how they think you're going to respond and react.
Yeah, it's
They
not.
knew I was going to lead the army of the 12 monkeys into the pages of history before it even occurred to me.
ice.
Excellent movie. Good taste, sir.
They know everything I'm ever going to do before I know it myself.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, look,
As I
that
said,
data
science
is tracked
fiction.
for good reasons, and it should be. Okay, but that data is then sold for anyone because I mean, that's
Well,
fair,
that would be
right? Like you
illegal under
can't
existing law to sell someone's mental health data.
Can you turn your
sell
volume
data.
up, Jeff?
Huh?
Can you turn your volume up?
Up?
Yeah.
No, we're trying to drown him out. Me and Hank, we're trying to be really loud.
Like you sound clear and your voice is fine. It's just
Okay, how
too
is
low, I
this?
think. Hold on. Say it again. To hear
Hello?
somebody else.
Am I loud enough? I should have the loudest voice on the panel.
Mic check? Nope.
Yeah, see, they're all louder than you.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know how to level the audio from StreamYard. It doesn't. Like
Yeah,
the way
me
it
neither.
sounds to the viewers is not the way it sounds to me backstage.
Yeah, I don't know how to level either.
No, yeah, you don't want to mess with StreamYard at all. Are you using any other kind of... Use just Windows and StreamYard or anything else?
Yeah, like StreamYard to YouTube. To
Then
Yeah.
browser.
I would just turn the mic volume up on your Windows.
Because I have it set a little higher than normal. Normal's 100.
Yeah, don't... That StreamYard shit's bullshit.
What
I would
do
just
you
go
use?
to Windows and turn your volume up.
Yeah, do that.
On the mic.
Yeah,
Mic
yeah.
volume. Let me see if I can find it.
So you got the sound, you got control panel, sound, and then there's playback and recording. You switch to the recording tab. Then on the recording tab, you've got all the microphones. So you want to choose the one that we're looking at, this thingy, ball thingy here. And then you'll have levels in there. And on the levels tab, you can turn your microphone up.
Test your microphone. Oh, wait.
There we
hang on.
go.
Whew, how's that?
Great.
You're right, because
Magic.
StreamYard had it set to this one, but Windows had it set to the headphone mic. I don't know if that was making a difference, but it
Yes.
wasn't even aligned with StreamYard's mic.
It can.
Yeah, it
But
does make a difference.
I'm
So
going to
this
turn
is
my
better?
volume back down.
Does this level work?
Yes, it works great.
Okay. Well, then we're back in business.
Nice.
So, Denizen, I figured out this morning that all the arguments that atheists regularly use against gods, I can use the same arguments against the existence of video games.
We can't prove a negative.
We can't prove a negative, but you can assert it.
What does that mean?
Yeah, but that's not proof.
Yeah, it's not proof.
So I don't think there'd be arguments against God. There's criticisms of the arguments for God.
Yeah. So I can use the same criticisms of the arguments for gods as criticisms for the arguments for video games.
Okay. Video games can either be evil or all knowing and
Yeah.
all loving. They can't be
Because
both.
they're designed. They're a
Yeah,
closed
they're
system.
designed. Yep.
But they don't have any impact on the rest of society.
No, there's a controversy about people getting banned based on their video game activity. So that's false.
Getting what?
Video games causing people to get banned. There's controversy over that, at least in the '90s. So
Oh.
There's
yeah.
Dennison. There's video games that so all video games basically not. Let's just start with all. All video games basically are set to a model of like this is how reality works. This is how the game works. You know what I mean? And we've slowly introduced like the idea of video games that step out of bounds of like fundamental reality, like as a player or as a system. Even like sometimes you're not even from the point of view of even a player, but those games just repulse most people. Like there's very few people who will even play them because they're just so, they either make you so nauseous or they're like that says a lot about people. You know what I mean? And like our dependency on just the system. Like it's weird. Even within your own dreams. You know what I'm saying? Jeff here will talk and just belittle his, the things that make him more than just a fucking robot. And I will get angry at him doing it. But at the same time, my own dreams, and tell me if I'm wrong. You must live under these same rules. Those games make me nauseous too. The idea of even thinking beyond that system. Do you
I don't know what kind of games you're talking about.
I don't know. That'll take too long.
Pitfall.
I've never played it.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
I haven't played that one either.
Those are the ones, man. You should go play those. Good job, Jeff.
They make people nauseous?
Yeah.
Space Invaders.
Give me a second.
I was there. I remember those.
Me too, somehow.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I just go with it. It's about video games. Say anything related to a video game.
Video games don't exist. There's a power bit.
They don't for me. I never play them. If they all disappeared tomorrow, my life would not even notice.
I like video games.
It's
You're just hallucinating them. They're actually just a pile of bits. You're interacting with against a monitor.
Well, what about VR? Is that real?
It is a simulated reality.
Yeah, I would say it's real, but video gamers would say they're not real. People are just hallucinating.
But isn't that experience real? Like, if you're having a psychedelic experience, isn't that a real experience? Mentally, to your brain? Like, dreams are real. Oh, hey, Joe.
People would argue that dreams are not part of reality, and it doesn't make any sense.
But they're real. What are dreams if they're not real? Like, I don't understand how dreams are not real. Do you mean like actual or physical reality?
Well, I couldn't
They're
see
still
your dream
real.
unless you drew
Thoughts
them
are
out.
real. Feelings are real.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to see your dream unless you drew it out. So,
but it's still real.
Yeah, I would say it's still real.
Like, yeah, I think mental phenomena are real. That's why I'm a phenomenologist and not a strict naturalist.
Yes, I'm also a phenomenologist, but there are people who would argue that imagination, dreams, thoughts aren't real, but I don't know how we know about them otherwise.
That what's not real?
That thoughts aren't real. I think the problem is that we don't have them quantized as units yet. I think that's the big issue. If we could quantize them as units, we could track them better. Then we wouldn't have as many cross talk about it.
So something it's not truly real until it can be quantized in the scientific
Um,
view.
yes, yes, and with particular parts, scientists with a particular epistemology, others would still can do stuff with it anyways. But there's just a mindset of a physicalist. They need to quantize into unitary properties before they would say that's real. But but they can't explain how we know about it still.
Jeff, Frank just doesn't want to take responsibility for his dreams. Is what's going on there. I think that's what I heard.
Well, you hear whatever you want.
Yeah, you've been hearing a lot of things.
Well,
But
if
that's
I
Hey,
can't tell if I'm
when you
too
dream-
high or not high enough.
You're-
volume wise or
No, it doesn't
chemical
mean
wise.
wise.
do you
Chemical
know you're
wise.
dreaming?
Oh.
When you dream, do you know you're dreaming? And
Sometimes, yeah.
in that sense, like, where does your dream go? You know, like,
I found
you
that the
take
more
responsibility for the things in your dream.
capable I become at lucid dreaming, I find my mind becomes more advanced at creating inaccessible dreams, indistinguishable dreams.
You're
From
talking
reality.
about
So like my subconscious, if there's like a
Controlling the
conscious
system,
and a
letting it in.
subconscious battling, the more lucid I become in my conscious, the more it exercises my subconscious muscle, and my brain will create more interweaved and more elaborate illusions in order to trick my ass and to convince me that I'm sleeping.
okay, but at the same time, that's the direction of like the system either having control over you or you having control over it, and it's just perception. But that's a direction. Now the other direction, that's what I'm talking about. That's like fundamentally.
You
It's
mean
like
if your lucid muscle is limp and atrophied?
It's
Is
like
that what
if
you're
there was
talking
a
about?
different. If you could walk down the hallway the other way. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm so good with lucid dreaming, I could just overlay, I'll overlay on top of my waking reality with stuff from the dreams. So
Every night?
yeah. Well, I could do it now. In fully conscious, I can overlay dream stuff on top of my just visual system.
Right now, you have dream stuff.
There's people who claim
Yeah,
they
I can. It's just imagination stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really distinguish them.
Only
But
imagination.
yeah, yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
There's people who claim-
Is that the same face you make when you come, Jeff?
What face? I'm just sitting here. What face?
You
am I
were pleased
making?
with yourself.
Stop
'cause
trying
they
to
set
decode
you
my
up for
body
that.
language.
When he slipped that only imagination comment in.
Well,
I imagine that's what he
I
looks
did.
like when he finally, touches tips.
Yeah, you see, Browns gets it. I knew it could count on Lanza.
Too much fun, guys. Well, I'm high enough. I think I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay, we'll be hanging out in the back later. All right. Well, is there any last minute profound thoughts from anybody?
No.
Have we solved reality?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll have to try again later.
Yep. Wednesday, because you have to get back
Right, I'm
to-
taking tomorrow off, unless I might decide to stream in the evening, but those are always spontaneous evening streams are always on the table. But other than that, I'm gonna come back on Wednesday.
Mhm. That means any of you out there, you have a time slot, you just pick it up. I won't stop you.
Yeah, what Hank said. Denizen, you have anything you want to leave us with?
You finish there, I'll meet you there, and if you forget one thing, I'll have you shaved, sterilized, and destroyed.
Oh my. Okay. That Wow.
Who cares what psychiatrists write on walls?
We should watch that. I haven't watched that in a while. Maybe we'll make that our next feature. All right. Well, have a good day, everyone, and we'll do it again some other time.
Yep.
Hank, thanks again for helping out.
No problem.
Denizen, good to see you. See you around. And the rest of you, hopefully, same for you. All right. Take care, everybody. Go out and conquer reality or do something with it. Have fun with it.